What is up, guys? Andrew here, and welcome to Comic Booker, all things comics from a creator. This has been a really exciting week for me. I finally received my M1 iPad Pro in the mail, and this thing is looking beautiful. I also just watched a new episode of the latest Marvel show, Loki. No spoilers, but Loki's looking like a really fun puzzle box of a story, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes next. Anyway, I thought I'd take this iPad for a test drive and make some Loki art, so let's get to it. So I'm starting off with a pretty broad sketch, and the idea is to block in the overall drawing so I know how much space I'll be taking up on the canvas. I'm working on a square canvas, and my idea is to have multiple versions of Loki sort of fanning out from the central prisoner version. Once that's done, I do a tighter drawing on top of it, paying more attention to the proportions and some broad anatomy. I throw in a cat Loki down there and another one exiting the frame, which adds to this feeling of multiplicity. There are many Lokis, and you're never 100% sure which is the real one. Now, jumping into inks. I focus on the main figure first, taking care with the likeness. Tom Hiddleston's got a very specific hairline. From there, I move outward, following a path where I think the viewer's eye will go next. That's usually how I like to draw, starting at the main point of interest and then filling in the details as I move further and further away. The earlier sketches help to keep me on point as I go to town on some of those details. The cat Loki and the off-frame figure weren't working that well for me, so I replaced them with two more appropriate figures. A snake, which is the animal most associated with Loki, and a kid version of him from one of my favorite Loki stories ever, Journey into Mystery. Now that I'm relatively happy with the inks, I move on to the color flats, and that's where I lay down large blocks of local color where they belong. This is honestly the most boring part of the process for me, but a necessary foundation for the more exciting parts of color. I tweak and revise the inks here and there as I go. At this point, I realize that I want the main prisoner Loki figure to have a little lockpick in his hand, so I throw a little line down there to indicate it. Alright, onto shadows and lights. I'm now taking a soft, semi-transparent brush to lay down some shadows and highlights. This expands the value scale of the drawing so that there's more nuance between the lightest point and the darkest point. I throw a little chromatic aberration onto the highlights to give them an opalescent effect. And that makes me think that the environment should have a little more crazy to match it. Which brings me to the final stage of the drawing. I go nuts on the background, using whatever crazy brush strikes my fancy in the default Procreate brush library, and I slap down some wacky and wild colors. I don't think too hard and just let the whim and whimsy guide me. I think at this point the drawing has built up enough structure, and I can just mess with it and bring back some of that energy from the initial sketch. This is probably my favorite part of the coloring process. Finishing up, I do a few tweaks here and there, and I'm done! Loki, 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 Loki. That's 7 Lokis for the price of 1. Alright, so first impressions on this 2021 iPad. It's pretty good, but I'm not feeling a huge difference between this one and the 2018 iPad Pro. I'm gonna have to do more testing. Stay tuned for the full review. That's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, peace.